Welcome to Tuesday's version of Tom Shattuck's Burn Barrel Podcast. My name is Tom Shattuck. I'm your host for this evening, joined by Alice Shattuck. Alice,
Hi.
Welcome to the Burn Barrel Podcast.
Thanks for having me on. Real pleasure.
I've got to tell you, Alice Shattuck, once again, you look beautiful again.
Thank you. Everything's okay.
Is there a plunging neckline here today or no?
I mean, it's a button-down shirt. I don't know what you're looking for. Can you just do a show?
Okay. It's one of the parts of the show is the objectification of you. All right.
Okay.
So let me tell you something. Today has been a freaking crazy day. It's been absolutely crazy.
We
got up
Stop.
This morning, and I was walking by before 7 a.m. To take my exercise walk, which I'm going to do in the morning. And I don't know what it was about it, but maybe it's because I haven't exercised in the morning for a long time. But I was absolutely full on, rip-roaring, just jacked up for the show, for the radio show. And I was just, I don't know. I was.
Well, also, is it possible that, oh no, it was the previous night when you didn't drink much. It was Sunday night when you didn't drink that much, right?
What do you mean, previous night when I didn't drink that much?
No, I was just thinking maybe you feel better if you don't drink in the evening.
Yeah, well, I barely touched the stuff yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Alice.
Okay. Well then maybe that's part of it. Maybe you'll feel better.
My goodness.
You used to be addicted to vodka, and now you're addicted to helping.
Excellent. That is a reference, of course, from the greatest comedy ever made. What's it called again?
Role Models.
Role Models. Gotta see. That's the greatest comedy ever made. I don't know what it was. The walk certainly kicked me in gear. Plus, we had this fantastic topic to talk about in Connecticut. A cop.
Did I disagree with you on, by the way?
Okay, well, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So here's the topic. Okay, I'll just I'll give you a little piece of the audio from the show to sex officer today. Here we go.
Officer Paul Cavalier is currently on administrative leave. Sources say it's because there are videos of him and a woman having sex posted on a porn site. The videos were first posted about 10 months ago, according to information on the site. We started digging into this after getting several tips, and late last week, the police chief confirmed an officer is on leave, saying in a statement, quote, "We've been made aware of an off-duty matter involving Officer Paul Cavalier. He was placed on administrative leave and is the subject of an internal affairs investigation consistent with the collective bargaining agreement. This is a personnel matter. As such, we will have no additional comment." Channel 3 got a copy of the East Haven Police Department's Code of Ethics, which says in part that officers will keep their private lives as an example to all. I did speak very briefly with Officer Cavalier just about an hour ago. He declined to comment on this report.
Not surprised. A couple things about that. One, the Code of Ethics says, "I will keep my private life unsullied," as an example to all.
Yeah.
And also, it's interesting that they've got his name and they're using it, and they also say they say it was posted 10 months ago, so they're on the porn site. It's just funny to think about people in the newsroom.
Yeah, the fact checkers had to go check and make sure he was really there and it was really him.
Right, and probably the fact that she spoke to him for a second was the opportunity she got to confirm some of this stuff. But that they have his name means that somebody ratted him out. Obviously people were happy to rat him out, etc. So
he probably also talked to people about it.
Who knows? But
or the other person in it did. Somebody did.
Right. So
because there's so many videos I've heard out there that I would think it would be a random chance that somebody would stumble on his and recognize him.
So I was very excited about this morning, about this audio. Not the audio, about the story. As a matter of fact, the audio is minimal. To me, this is pure uncut talk radio stuff right here.
Okay.
And so I was very excited about it. So by the time I got into the show, I did a stem winder of an intro into this. I started about the defunding the police and security at the. It was Rachel Maddowian how I started. In a barn in Poughkeepsie, and ended up on the streets of East Haven, Connecticut, where an officer is now making love on YouPorn or whatever it is. And so I did it on purpose. I thought, you know what, I'm taking these I'm going for a walk. I'm going.
You're taking them on a ride.
I'm taking the scenic route. Okay. And I was just so. It was just. I was like high in my head. And those of you who's caught me on Kirk Minahan's show will think that it's funny. I'm sure Dave has already captured that. He's got one of his little moles.
The truth is, that's just what you're like. That's Tom Shattuck's natural state.
Yeah, that's right. There's something wrong. So
well, we talked today. You said your mom told you were hyperactive as a kid. And
yeah.
It's probably true. Like, probably if you had grown up nowadays, you probably would have been diagnosed with ADHD or whatever. Because you are, like, you're an intense person.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't find it intense. I just find it normal. So anyway.
Yeah, but you, like, even in your social life, not to, like, get too far afield here, but you are, like, you, like, pressure people to do stuff, and you're, like, very insistent, and you're, like, you're going a mile a minute all the time.
Well, unless you pressure people to do stuff, they will use their free will. And that's no good. Yeah. A lot of people, especially when they're new, like I have my friends, or Mike and John, who are on a text thread with me right now. They're used to it, so they know they can see the manipulation, coming a mile away.
Right, and I'm used to you too.
New people wouldn't believe that they're being like bullied by a 49-year-old guy at like a dinner party. They wouldn't believe, like, is this really happening? Is he not letting us leave?
Remember when I first started dating and my friends would come over and you would like pressure them to stay, and so they would stay like really, really inappropriately late because they like thought like he must mean it. I get he really wants me to stay here.
Yeah. Not sure it's a positive attribute, Alice, but So anyway, so this show was a blur. It was my best radio I have ever done. The callers were fantastic. Many of them were very upset from the get-go that this was the subject matter, that this was what we were talking about, and which is obviously perfect. A lot of them were mad at the police officer.
They agree with me.
Yeah, I was defending the police officer. I have no problem, especially with the shortage of
officers. Keep
your
naked self off the internet.
No, who cares?
If you're
There's a shortage of
in a
police
position
officers.
of public trust.
There's a shortage of police officers, Alice. What are you going to do next time somebody's coming at you with a sledgehammer? Are you going to say, hold on, let me Google the officer's name to make sure that he's not been in any porn, and then I'll ask for his help? No, we just need cops. I don't care what they are doing on the other side. I don't care to what level they are Dirk Diggler on.
Maybe they can give him a desk job or something that's not public facing, but you can't there's just certain jobs where you have to maintain a level of professionalism and maintain the image of the police department and all that stuff. Like, I would feel the same, and I told you this at the time. Like, if you were a police officer and there were videos of you online smoking a bunch of pot, like hitting a bong on vacation, like not impaired on the job even, but like if you were doing a lot of weed, like I wouldn't want that either, even if you lived in a state where it was legal. Like, I just think that you need to keep your life off of the internet if you're in certain public-facing positions where you have to interact with the public a lot and you're paid by the taxpayer. That's the thing. At the end of the day, like, you're serving at the pleasure of the taxpayer. So, like, you need to keep it under control. I truly think that. And I think the same if it's, like, the town clerk or anything else. Like, how can you be doing it if you're in a porno and everybody in town has seen you doing it?
This is the time of OnlyFans and everything else. Everybody's a broadcaster.
I don't.
Okay.
What are you looking at?
No, I just have a text. Hi, how are you? It's Anastasia Yop. I assume this is somebody attractive.
Yeah.
Since when do people start texting you like junk text?
I don't know. I assume our numbers are all kinds of junk lists. But I have no problem. I think there are some jobs where you can't also be a porn star. Like, that's,
okay.
I mean,
the cop is not one of them. It's fine. You're puritanical and evil.
Yeah, I'm puritanical. I don't know.
So
sue me.
So this is what. Anthony DiRenzo will be joining us. By the way, he is the producer, my producer in the morning.
In the afternoon more.
In the afternoon. You're right about that. And he was there for today. Obviously, he was there. It was just crazy. The 2 hours are. I seriously felt like. I had wondered if I was hallucinating because it was so many bizarre calls and so many things were happening. A dude called up about the Buffalo Bills beating the Pats to rule it over us, and it was just crazy. It was just crazy. I don't know. I don't know if it's my mood or what it was. But and then Rudy called up, and Rudy said that he was in a porn. You know Rudy from
I
Florida?
do know Rudy from Florida.
So,
I mean,
no,
him.
Rudy
I know
said-
him from
He
your
said
show.
that he and a girl back in the 90s were having sex somewhere, and somebody recorded them and posted it somewhere, and people recognized him from it. I choose to believe that it's true, regardless of what it is. So anyway, eventually we get a call. Where's her name? From a woman named Etriss. Now, it's possible, since Anthony did the call screening, that this woman's name is Beatrice. But because it said in there that she was angry. And I got the feeling that, and then he told me that she seemed like she may have been in advanced years. So it might be Beatrice, but
I'm guessing probably Beatrice.
She was in there as Etriss, and that's what I called her. She was angered about all the smut on this station. And the station's over 100 years old, so it's very possible that, she's been listening since, 1923, and never expected this 50,000 watt powerhouse. Anyway, I just.
Well, yeah, and now she's got to look at the cop in town and know that he's been doing that too. On top of that, plus, what about like criminals? What about blackmail?
Well, if he's posting online, obviously he can't give a name about blackmail.
Well, but if you're the type of person who has pornos of you on the internet, what else is there of you? Like, it's a Hunter Biden situation. Do you want Hunter Biden
stuff
to be
on his laptop, and then he was busted into. This guy
But
is out
would you
there.
want Hunter Biden to be a cop in your town? Would that set
Do you
your
think
mind
there
at
are other
ease?
drawbacks to Hunter Biden, Alice? I think we'll say there
But
are
that's
some.
what I'm saying. Is it's like, to me, that's a step into that universe that I don't
I'm
want
all
the
for
cops
it.
into.
I don't care what they do, what they're doing. I'm all for it.
I don't like it.
I know, because you're authoritarian.
When I'm in charge, I'm firing all the police officers.
Puritanical,
No, I like police officers. I just don't want to see them having sex. That's all.
You
I
don't
just
have
want
to, Alice. You don't have to.
I don't want to know that other people in my town have seen them having sex.
Okay, good. Jesus, what a crunkball you are. All right, so I just want to play you a little bit of Etriss, okay?
Beatrice?
It's Etriss. We call her Etriss. This is today's phone call with Etriss. Etriss is not pleased today with how the day is going. We'd already been going for almost 2 hours with this. It's
not your fault that was in the news. What does she
me,
want you to not
Alice,
talk
I am
about it?
more than fine with her calling in this call. It was absolutely fine. So anyway, okay, here we go. You let me know when he comes in, okay?
Okay, I will.
522-9842. Etriss and Meriden. Hi, Etriss.
Hi.
How are you?
I was fine up until I listened to one of your guests talking about fornication in the bushes. I don't think that this is necessary for any guest to be calling in and talking about something so disgusting.
Alice, let me ask
Agreed.
you. Let me ask you. I'm going to ask you a question.
Me and Beatrice are friends.
You are Etriss, as a matter of fact. Let me ask you. Do I A, stand up and defend Rudy, or B, throw Rudy under the bus?
Throw Rudy under the bus.
We will see if you are the winner today. Hold on. Come on, Etriss. Etriss.
I'm sure her name is Beatrice. Can you have the respect for my friend Beatrice, who I agree with 100%?
What just happened?
To call her by her real name, please.
Come on.
And I happen to agree with her. Much as I like Rudy,
I
don't want to think about Rudy fornicating in the bushes either, frankly.
I do, as a matter of fact.
That's between you and Rudy. You don't have to share it with however many hundreds of thousands of listeners.
Okay.
Perhaps
we're
millions.
We're going to try to talk to Etriss in a different way.
Have.
Here we go. Using this video player here. Come on, Etriss. Come on. iTunes library. You can get in there. Sorry for the delay, everybody.
I'm concerned about your computer.
Yeah, no kidding. Come on. Okay. Come on, Etriss. Here we go.
Okay. Is it finally going to be time for Etriss?
Supposedly.
Okay. I'm not sure that I believe any of this, honestly.
Now the roly thing is happening. Okay.
I'm concerned.
Okay, now it's looking like something's going to be... Oh, no, here's the volume.
First posted
you had the volume turned down?
Cavalier just about an hour ago.
So disgusting. Okay. I don't think that this is necessary for any guest to be calling in and talking about something so disgusting.
Thank you.
Etriss, I completely agree with you. The gentleman's name was Rudy from Florida. He is obviously a gentleman who was raised in the gutter. And for him to bring up a situation of intimate, romantic entanglement on these airwaves, to me, is highly offensive. And I don't think he should be allowed back on the station.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, because I was in my car and I had the radio on with my daughter, and I had to turn it off because I was so disgusted to think that he even got through.
That is correct. Yeah. Well, we'll be looking out for him in the future, Etriss.
That is nothing but trash.
Correct. Like
I like how her stories are playing in the background.
It's kind of the trash you'd hear over on the government station with Colin McEnroe. That's the kind of thing he might talk about.
Let me tell you.
Correct.
That would have been hung up in a second.
Mm-hmm. That is right. And as a matter of fact, I'm trying to get this Rudy's address, too, to see if we can send somebody over and just see what he's all about, as a matter of fact.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's bringing this.
I just pray that this is never going to happen again.
No, I hope you're right. I've been praying, as a matter of fact. I've had the rosary out since about an hour and a half ago now. And let's hope that the level of smut and filth does not resurface again. Etriss, what do you think should happen to this police officer, by the way?
He just doesn't go there.
I have no comment.
No.
You don't want to. You don't. So the police officer
complaint.
apparently was involved in similar smut as this guy Rudy, and he might be in trouble. Do you think any police officer should be in trouble for something like that?
I don't want to make a comment.
No.
I just wanted to comment on whoever that called in and was allowed to keep talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It should have just been hung up on.
I agree, and that's usually there's a gentleman who does the hanging up called Anthony DiRenzo, as a matter of fact, who I implored to hang up on him, but he wouldn't hang up. Now, I have requested that he be let go, be fired, and won't return after Friday. I have requested that he be terminated, and we'll see if that happens, Etriss, okay? All right, Etriss, thank you very much. There you go. You see?
Good day, and God bless.
Thank you. God bless you, too.
It was great. There was another call, actually, where somebody thought I was Pastor Will.
Because you said Pastor Will doesn't seem like the rosary type, I have to say.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Don't know that I love you making fun of prayer.
And I wasn't making fun of. I didn't make fun of. It's just somebody had the wrong time slot, and so I just went as Pastor Will. So that was also fun. It was just a crazy day. So that is Etriss. Where is Anthony Alice? Is he showing up yet?
Oh, he's in the waiting room.
Alice.
Sorry. I was watching my handsome husband talking, and I didn't realize he was there.
Let me know when Anthony is on. It's Mr. Anthony DiRenzo is joining us.
Anthony is on.
I don't see him in the thing.
Hello.
Anthony, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. We just played Etriss.
The greatest caller we've ever had in the history of WTIC.
Anthony, am I wrong, or was this not an extraordinary day, or was I just my chemicals off?
No, this is better than your usual show. I'll give you that.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. A-hole.
He was coasting off that KMS energy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, that was great.
Still high from Sunday night.
There's some truth to that. There's no doubt about that. It's very weird. It's Well, I'm not going to say anything more. I can't say anything more, Anthony, because they're all listening. And so if I tell you some other stuff that I'll tell you offline tomorrow, they will act on it. The Minifans are they are freaking thorough. I can tell you that, Anthony. But so anyway, by the way, he is Anthony DiRenzo. He's the executive producer, really, of the Todd Feinberg Show, but of my show too for actually most of it. So 3 hours, 3 of the 18 hours a day I'm on, Anthony is there. You can find him on Twitter at @DiRenzo. 6, DiRenzo 6, and he is co-host of the Upper Bowl Pod. You're still doing that, right?
Yes, we're in full swing for football. So yeah, we're doing it twice a week.
And then he's in the Shylock show as well. He's got a show, a national thing that's part of Odyssey, right?
Yeah, I help with BetQL here and there. I used to do a Sunday show every week, but now with football, I'll probably do something with college. We're still kind of ironing it out.
All right, so by the way, it's such a corporate thing as well. This is so incredible. Anthony is leaving the station.
Wait, he is?
Yes, we're breaking this news right now. Don't even have his permission.
Where is he going?
He's going to go ahead, Anthony. Where are you going?
I'm going back to Philadelphia, and I'll be working at 1210 WPHT, conservative station in Philly.
Is
Oh,
that
that's cool. Is it Odyssey or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
actually
okay.
where I started
Yeah, that's
before
why
I came
he's
here.
not giving us the finger, or just that's why he's still behaving.
That's why
a
he's
little.
got to not have total short
But
time bench disease.
It's totally fascinating though.
Mhm.
Like nobody's said officially anything. It's like we're all gonna miss Anthony. No, nothing. He's just
I
like
think there's an announcement Thursday,
Oh, is
like
there?
from corporate. But yeah, you're right. It is weird lately.
Yeah, my work never says anything either.
I think they're salty at him because it's not. Todd demands a like functioning.
Show.
Well, and he demands.
He wants people
a
to
thinking
answer the
man.
phones.
So wait, he demands a thinking man, somebody who's gonna, not that every show doesn't, but I'm saying, but Todd is
Wants a real producer.
yes, he wants a real producer. That's
So
what-
who's coming in now?
nobody? I don't know.
Well, they're interviewing people. We'll see.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how that goes. Okay, so can we move to another topic, Alice?
Yes.
You cool with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hang on one second, Alice. Okay. So there's this radio show. Have you seen this story, Alice? I know you saw it, Anthony. In St. Oh, you sent it to me,
I
Alice.
sent it to you.
You sent it
Yes,
to me.
I told you
okay,
about
sorry.
it.
Sorry about that. You see what I deal with, Anthony? Alice, you get credit for this, okay?
No, you're asking me if I've seen
Fox 2 anchor unleashes profane off-air tirade at female co-host in St. Louis area radio show.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do want to grab in. I should have done this before the show, but I want to grab just a little piece of how this segment was going on the air before this dude blew up in a way that I've never heard. I mean, this is God.
Really? You must have seen like some a-holes
We're
in the
going to
radio
talk. Me and
business.
Anthony are going to talk about this in just a moment, Alice, and talk about a-holes we may have or may haven't seen.
But you've never. This guy's unmatched in your
well,
opinion.
I mean, just the pure length, and for it to be 2022, and calling
like
a
fat, and I feel
fat
bad for your
chick, fat ass,
kids, and like yeah.
yeah. So this is how the segment kind of was going.
we cut
man.
5 inches the last time, and like no one noticed.
No shave.
That's just no shave November.
Yeah, okay.
No shave November.
That's when you add hair.
Because
This is Crystal Cooper's the female.
compensate.
Vic Faust is the male.
Everybody looks like
I think
they're,
it's anybody.
everybody looks like they're either an 1820s carnival barker.
Right.
So it's going along okay. They start at some point. She gets salty because he essentially says that he thinks she might be stupid because he said that because she was making fun of him for not knowing how to use a computer.
Mm-hmm.
So he was saying she's stupid, and then she said, and then she said, "Well, don't call me stupid." And he said, "Well, I'm going to call you stupid." And then you could tell as they're going to break that stuff wasn't going right. And then they get into break, and then here's what follows. Somebody, I assume her or producer recorded this.
Listen, you're a fat nasty and you don't bring up on air when I have your back. You're a fat. I don't care if you're here or not.
like that, guys. Come on, man.
Serious?
I let it go yesterday.
But you called me stupid for the
Because
second
who brought up
time.
the stupid subject? You
wasn't a
called,
stupid
you
subject.
were making fun of me because I was dealing with the computer.
Chris was too. It wasn't just
No,
me.
no, he
Chris
wasn't.
was. Yes, he said, "Oh
He
my God,
didn't
it's going to be
say
here in 3
anything-
weeks."
He didn't say anything on air.
Yes, he did. Go back and
You
listen.
have
He
a
was
history-
laughing when I
you
did
have a
it.
history of attacking me on air, and
No,
Chris
I
knows.
don't. You have a history of attacking me on air. Are you kidding?
You and your big fat
Oh!
looking ass. Don't come back.
Really?
You start me to
You're
fuck
not
up,
my boss.
well,
I'm
you. And I'll call you a every day.
okay. Good
You're
for
a
you.
fat, self-righteous.
Oh! So it goes on like that. There's like 68
That's what I deal with every day off the air.
Yes, that's exactly
That's
right.
what Tom's like.
I call a lot of people fat. I feel that that's a safe and legit
I
thing.
feel
for
like I
me.
might get the worst of it, to be honest with you,
So-
Anthony.
But here's like this guy. First of all, I can't believe it went on that effing. This dude.
4
And this
minutes.
guy's a TV guy too. So this is like
The
imagine
recording
Shackman
is
doing
4
this,
minutes
Brian.
long.
I mean, Anthony. Brian Shackman's our morning guy who's from TV. I mean, TV guys usually don't want a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is totally unhinged. Like I've never hear. I mean, I hear some stuff. I've heard fights. I've seen people throw headphones. Do stupid things. But I don't know. And then like doubling down on the fat thing. I mean,
What's
I don't
the
know.
effing-
Slurs in general.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, Anthony, how does this guy asking for an HR problem? Calling a woman fat, stupid. What
yeah,
are you
she could
doing?
probably sue the station
You can't
if they
say-
don't fire him at this
If he
point.
said like it looks like you've gained weight, then he could be fired. You can't do anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, do you hear the Lizzo "I'm listening" promo down the hallway? Like, it's just, I don't understand. You think you could get away with fat jokes now? Especially, I don't know, on a casual show like that. Like, it's one thing I feel like with me or you where we mess around with each other.
Yeah.
But really doing that, I mean, I know it's off air, but
Yeah, it was
geez.
like so not edgy at all going into it. They're like talking no shave November and like how
Yeah.
much hair they got cut at their last haircut. And like that's their topic. And then they go into that the second they go to break. That seems like a little bit of a switch that's getting flipped there.
So I mean, you Philly's full of a-holes. So you must have you ever seen? Are there?
And Boston's not at all.
Oh, yeah,
Boston is known for like
actually.
super nice, friendly people.
Yes.
Yeah, but like it's funny. The ones you would think are a-holes, like Howie Carter, is not. He's an absolute pleasure to work with. He's awesome. But I've worked with other people who have been. I was the executive producer of a station for a while, so people came to me. First of all, I was the executive producer, which means that talent is not afraid to yell at you because you are not important if you're executive producer.
Yep.
You know, you're making the schedule and fielding complaints, essentially. But oh my goodness, we had one producer for the midday show. She wanted to get into TV, and her host, who she worked with, took her in to the office, closed the door, and explained to her that she would need to have breast enhancements if she wanted to get into get into TV broadcasting because she might be able to get away with it right now on radio, although it's not great, essentially, he said. But she would need to if she gets into TV. And I think it was also just a way for him to talk about her breasts and pretend that he was doing it in a caring way. But she came to me all totally teared up, totally, etc. Other than that, I mean, I've certainly seen people get yelled at. I worked with a host when I worked with Michael Graham. We were at each other. He was a mother effer. We're friends. But, you have contentious relationships sometimes, hosts and producers, a lot of times until you trust each other, Yeah.
I mean, I think there has to be like some sort of barrier, essentially. You have to, I guess, entrust the show with someone else. And once they prove that to you, I think hosts are kind of willing to maybe have a better relationship. But especially, I mean, I don't know. I walked into radio going on to a morning show on my, kind of on my own because it was COVID. And, I'm not there to, spew my opinions or anything like that. I kind of have to earn those stripes. And I feel like not necessarily everyone understands that in our industry.
Yeah, you're totally right. And there's also there's a lot of unmotivated people in radio. There are a lot. And a lot of times if you're working in a talk station, the dudes who are your street teamers or your interns or are working with promotions, the guys and girls, they want to be with the rock station. They don't want to be with the talk station. So they mope around and do this to that and this to that. And so I've known some talk people who just have no time for it. So they'll just bite their heads off or they just say, get out of here. And I knew another guy who was proud that he would upset some know-nothing, promotions people. But, I mean, you've got to be, if he's concentrating during a whole stop set, first of all, the show must suck that he's going to blow 6 minutes calling a lady fat.
Oh, there's a deeper issue there. That is just, they hate each other and he's just every day waiting to explode. And that was just that example for that day.
Oh yeah. And also are you going to try to seamlessly get right back into No Shave November when you get back?
Yeah, I'm trying to picture what happened after the stop set too.
I can't. I mean,
true.
Oh, I'll tell you.
What does the producer do in
and
that
the fact
situation?
that it got recorded, that somebody recorded it and released it, means that probably was not the first time he did that.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's his.
But what is he thinking? Because I mean, I know that maybe St. Louis isn't the biggest market in the world, but if he's on TV too and radio
maybe it
and
is.
But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good gig to have a TV job and a radio job in a market that's. I mean, it's got to be. It's probably bigger than Hartford, I'm guessing. So, but anyway, what are you thinking to blow that up for? What, to call somebody fat? Why? What's the point of it? What? It's
ego, which I feel like most of the ego is kind of out of the industry, at least in radio, because there's not enough money for
the big
anyone
egos
to
have
kind
left.
Yeah. Most of them have left, but I mean, you'll run into it here and there, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's nuts to me like that people do stuff like that, because that wasn't like an offhand comment that just came out like he lost control. Like that if you can go off for 4 minutes and somebody like you're still concentrating.
Damn,
on it,
Anthony, Philly is the seventh market, seventh biggest.
Yeah, he's moving on up.
No kidding. Jesus, take me. No, I'm just kidding. Philly is it's the eighth market. 4.8 million people in Philly. Boston's ninth.
Yeah,
that's shocking. No, it's not shocking.
Like,
yeah,
but what?
Hartford's like what, 39?
No,
it's like scrolling.
It's like 43 or something.
I keep scrolling. Jesus.
Or 53. It's like it's around 50.
Oh
somewhere.
man, wait, I don't.
It's around number 50 for sure. I looked it up the other day.
Monmouth, Ocean, New Jersey is up in front of us. Richmond, Virginia is in front of us. Memphis is in front of us. Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, North Carolina is in front of us. West Palm Beach, Boca Raton is. Providence is bigger than us. Jesus, Anthony. Oh, that is ridiculous. Holy goodness. All right. So, Anthony, we got a question for you.
Wait, you never found out what St. Louis is. That's what we were waiting to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's where our friend Dana Lash started. It has to be someone.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Can you look and see what it is?
I apologize for Alice's just bitchy attitude.
Are you complaining to HR about me?
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. Yes,
Let me Google it. I'll find it.
No, hold on.
Do you want me to look
City?
at it?
Salt Lake
It's
Kansas
St.
City.
Louis.
Oh, no.
It's St. Louis.
Okay, St. Louis. I don't think it's on here. St. Louis. Buffalo.
You're right. It must not have radio there.
It doesn't have
You're right.
radio. They don't have radio. Hold on.
St. Louis radio market size. Let's see.
21 I got from Nielsen.
I have it as 23. See, I found it too.
Yeah. Okay, good job,
23.
everybody.
Hartford's in the 50s?
Hartford's around 50. Yeah, it goes up and down. I think it's like 40 or 50.
We got a problem here now, and we're going to get into Anthony's personal life, Alice.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, great. Here we go.
There's a girlfriend involved here. Did you know
Good
that?
for you, Anthony. That's great.
Wow, so
Thank you.
condescending.
What do you want me to say to him?
Pat the guy in the head. He can get a girlfriend.
That's great.
Oh, that's so good for you.
No, that's great.
Oh.
I want everybody to get married and
I
have
told
kids.
him he should get married.
Mm-hmm.
What are you 26, Anthony?
We haven't been even dating for a year yet. It'll be a year in December.
Yeah, but you have to think about it ahead because you're supposed to propose by a year, I think.
Correct.
What?
Yeah, so if it's been a year in December, like then you got to that's around the time when you
Yeah.
should be at least having that conversation. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I want to marry her
Yeah,
eventually.
well, let's go.
It's just hectic right now.
Yeah,
It's
But I'm
always
definitely-
hectic. It's
Yes,
always
life
hectic.
is
If you
hectic.
wait for stuff to not be hectic, you'll die alone. It's true.
That's correct, Anthony. Don't die alone. Don't make the mistake here. You're going to turn into that a-hole from that radio station, bitter and alone. You don't want to do that.
He has like kids.
So I've got to turn
He has,
into
like,
you.
teenage kids and stuff.
Are you, well, is she going to move there with you?
She was thinking about it, but she got into a master's program here and she has an internship. So we're going to do long distance for a little. And then next year we'll see what happens. She might try to move there.
How long's the drive from Hartford to Philly?
It's like 4 hours.
Well, it's
It's a
doable.
little
Yeah,
rough.
that's not that bad.
It's doable. If you're in love, it's doable.
Yeah, especially nowadays, you just drive, put on a podcast. That's not bad.
Yeah.
As long as the gas prices stay somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, hopefully the Putin price hike goes away.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully Putin decides we can have cheap gas again.
Please.
So, yeah, Anthony, get propose to her. Let's get this going here. You need to, you know, it helps when couples get married. They tend to make a lot more money, save money, build assets. You can get a house with rats, and you have to
And
mow
lead.
and lead, and yeah. As a matter of fact, I know of one that could be available if you want it, Anthony.
That story
It's
had
not
me
near
in
Philly, though.
tears. Is that why you hate government? Because you expose your children to dangerous amounts
Yes.
of lead?
Yeah.
No, our children are not really. So Tom said it was a high amount of lead at the thing, but it's really the amount that the government makes you de-lead your house for now is lower than what was the average of everybody's lead level that was in their blood in the 70s. So like everybody Tom's age had higher lead than that, like on a routine basis. And he had it one time, and then he had to be tested all the time after that. Never showed up high again. For all I know, he could have had like dirt on his hands that day or something. Like, who even knows? But yeah, I mean, like, I went right out. I had him take iron. I wiped down everything in the house with like anti-lead wipes. I like tested a million things for lead. But then the government comes in and is like, nope, you had this high lead test. By the time they came to do it, it had been like months later. His lead level was already down. The whole thing was over. And they spent like 4 days at our house testing every single surface for lead and made us spend, the lowest estimate we got was like $80,000, but then it was actually more than that after that, everything. But,
Tom doesn't want to know.
But
He
yeah,
wants to know.
I won't get into detail on the finance. But yeah.
Oh, here's
just
the
brutal.
This is essentially.
Who would like the government after that? And on top of that, classic, like everybody who works for the government just sucks. Like the woman who did it, who was the lead inspector lady, was just a huge, she was evil. She was lazy. She like didn't want to, she was like, I can't touch this wall because there's cobwebs. Can you come clear them off? Like she was terrible.
Yeah.
She was horrific and like just rude about everything. Her machine ran out of batteries. She was like, well, I'm going to have to come back again tomorrow because my lead thing ran out of batteries. And I was like, do you need batteries? I'll give you batteries so you don't come back here tomorrow. And like, so I gave her a bunch of batteries and so that she would leave. She failed the house a bunch of times. I talked to another family that she also de-leaded them in the next town over. And one of the times she failed their house, it was because it was snowy and she had on heels. So she couldn't like get to one of the outside walls that she had to test. So she just failed their house again because she couldn't get to it because there was snow. And she was like, well, you should have cleared it. And they were like, we're not allowed in our house until you pass it.
It's a nightmare. It's such a nightmare. We had to
She's
stay
evil.
live in a
She's
hotel.
evil.
It was a long time.
With 2 dogs and 4 kids in a hotel room for like, what, 3 weeks? It was forever because she kept failing.
I'm sure Anthony's looking forward to home ownership now and all that stuff. Here's David
Just
Hogg.
buy a
This is
house built
essentially-
after 1972 and nothing bad will happen.
This is David Hogg. This is essentially Anthony's outlook in life. Like me, I'm never planning on having kids. I would much rather own a Porsche and have a Portuguese water dog and a golden doodle. What a dickhead. Long term, it's cheaper, better for the environment. For some reason, these capitalized in the environment.
He's always been a little bit like manic with the capitalization and punctuation.
Better for the environment,
spelling
and will
stuff.
never tell you that it hates you or ask you to pay for college.
I mean, if I were David Hogg's kid, I would tell him that I hate him every day. But
He's a hero, Alice.
no, I don't understand that attitude. Kids are the best thing ever. Of course, they're great. And all you need to know is Mr. Hero of the Environment, Elon Musk, has like 1,000 kids.
Anthony has witnessed our kids, so I don't know if he's.
They were nice. They were very good.
Yeah,
I mean,
that describes him.
The only thing that they were causing problems with was sitting in front of that door near my studio. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, they were okay.
Well, just don't bring 4 of them and a dog into the radio.
Yeah, well, when we say have a kids,
hire a babysitter. That's all.
Have kids,
or have the building manager call the cops on you. Too.
Oh yeah,
was...
because of the dog. Thank you, Alice. When we say have kids,
The dog
get
was
married
fine. The AC was on
When we
in
say
the car.
get married, have kids, and buy a house, don't do it like us. There is a right way to do things. We just did everything wrong. Alice, do you have any more agenda items before we hit the chat?
I'm good. I think we should head to the chat.
All right. Do you want to hang out for the chat, Anthony?
Yeah, sure.
This is like Todd's what's it called? Rant line.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee there are any. Okay.
I think I saw one.
No, there are a bunch.
Okay,
no,
good.
there's 5. Okay. There we go.
8 ball. You know, I have 4 kids as well, and I'm always tired. And my kids are older, so I'm always wondering, how is it you have the energy to do your radio show?
You recognize his voice, Anthony?
Yeah, that's Tom McCann.
No, Tim McCann, yeah.
Or Tim, yeah, sorry.
Who calls me 8 ball now. He did on the air, too, today.
Yeah, I liked that.
The pod, wait on your wife, hand and foot. And now I know. Now I know.
That is not true. Anthony, you've probably done coke a bunch. You're a millennial, right?
Stop it. No, I have. I mean, I was around it, but no, I can't.
All right.
I can't
Here
snort
we go.
things.
I don't think I've ever even seen Coke.
Okay.
I haven't.
Both of you have careers to center on, so I'll leave it alone.
Tom's like, oh, yeah, I did it every night.
It's not true. I would have. There was a time in my life when I was looking for drugs. I wanted to be cool and like, and you know, this is back when raves were a thing. Raves were like the early 90s where people would like go to find a warehouse and everybody would have ecstasy and all sorts of weird drugs. I had to scratch and claw and beg eventually to get invited to one ever. Everybody else was like ODing and I couldn't get my paws on anything. And no, the rave crowd, being a loud, like Rush Limbaugh fan and spouting conservatism when you're like drinking around people doesn't get you invited places. I found that.
Oh my God.
It has to be one of the saddest and most awful things, because someone who is 2 degrees of separation from me, their child had taken their life, and the parents cannot be any more beside themselves because the pandemic has basically ruined this.
What is wrong with your listeners? What is this?
Alice, there's a picture of me with cocaine in my face. Oh, the KMS guys.
So,
ADHD much?
Tom does have ADHD.
So,
we just talked about it.
So, Anthony, what that is well, Alice.
I was talking about the mental health crisis in the pandemic, and Tom was
on
talking.
yesterday's podcast. Meanwhile, a friend just sent me this picture, a video too, of me not really paying attention to your sad story of suicide. While you're tearing up, I'm looking at all the social media love I'm getting, Anthony.
Love is one way to put it.
So this guy's making fun of me. Dr. Cheswick, it says. I'm not sure what that really means. I'm going to go back to this.
Taken their life, and the parents cannot be any more beside themselves because the pandemic has basically ruined this. Alice, there's a picture of me with cocaine in my face. Oh, the KMS guys. ADHD much?
True. That's accurate.
He's pretty good at imitating you. That was good.
That was an accurate depiction of your laugh.
It's not.
Congratulations,
Anthony. Your whole generation is as all ADHD, right? I don't seem like I have ADHD.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we were like totally overprescribed. Everyone my age has Adderall, and none of us can
Everyone
focus.
my age who didn't as a kid now has gone out and gotten prescriptions for stuff and decided oh, I have like adult diagnosis ADD.
Oh, no.
So, and now the kid froze my camera, so that's good.
The kid just came in like this. All right, yeah. Here's okay. Here we go.
So the Spencer Pride Festival is coming October 15th.
Nice.
I'm wavering if I should go or not. Especially if there's going to be like I think Tom would fit in with the boys at Barstool.
Ooh.
And that's all. Bye.
Oh, imagine. First, 2 things on that. One, I think you should go to the Pride Fest. I think it'll be fun. I have a couple of beers with the furries. Who cares? Have fun. Anthony, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I was at Pride Day in West Hartford. It was a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like I'm using a blanket descriptor, but I have found in my own personal experience through the years that my gay brethren, especially the brethren more than the gay sisters, know how to party. That's what I have found in my day.
That's for sure. I agree.
Was okay. There was 2 things he said. One, he talked about going to the Pride thing. 2, Barstool. Oh, Anthony, not that you and I don't love first and foremost the corporation called Odyssey, because obviously that's our first love and passion and always will be. How pissed would you be if I got a Barstool gig?
Oh, I'd be mad. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Who's offering you a Barstool gig?
I think nobody
has offered you a Barstool gig. Nice try.
I'm connected with Erica.
You've got your
LinkedIn,
pen out to sign the contract.
He's name dropping Nardini because he's met her or he's connected with her before.
I have met her, yeah.
And now he can use this as a bank shot since now Barstool is scouting me, obviously.
Yeah.
Now they hear Anthony knows Erica, and he's going to try to make the swerve right in.
I think that appearance definitely put you in the conversation, I have to say.
I am essentially...
Historic Barstool moments.
I'm essentially in the big fuzzy Barker lounge, just sitting right next to Portnoy right now, and Big Cat drinking beers, watching the Villanova game. Very upset that I lost in the points or whatever that is. I am there, absolutely.
So I was watching something with my mom, and it had Bernie Mac in it, and I turned to her, and with the straightest face, I go, I haven't seen Bernie Mac in anything for a while. Was he like Me Too'd or something?
Oh no!
And then she just like stares at me, like amazed that I would even say that. And then I go. The last thing I seen him in was that Old Dogs movie with John Travolta and
right, the
Robin
motorcycle.
Williams.
Oh, Wild
And then I
Hogs.
go,
Yeah, that's a
come to
good
think
one.
of it, I haven't seen Robin Williams in anything in a while. Was he canceled?
He
Me
might have been
Too.
Me Too.
What's going on with him? And my mom just is like, they're both dead, and I go and then I just start cracking up laughing. My mom deserves better.
What is wrong with you people?
All right, ready? It's our last one, Anthony, and then you can get on with your life.
I too had a similar story as Rudy today.
Mm-hmm.
It involved a young lady post St. Patrick's Day parade in Southie on the Red Line.
Whoa.
Apparently a conductor observing us, which we didn't know about until we got off the train. But the funny thing was, I always wondered whatever happened to Etriss. Good to know where she is now.
That is absolutely, totally, and utterly perfect. That is.
You're exposing Alice to all of this. She's a woman of God, and this is what you do.
We'll talk offline about the woman of God and some of our early days together, as a matter of fact.
Anyway, you can leave chat messages like that at burnbarrelpodcast.com. There's a red button where you can record a message from your phone or computer. You can also email us, burnbarrelpodcast@gmail.com. I know I have some emails to go through. You can also talk to us on social media at burnbarrelpod or facebook.com/burnbarrelpodcast. And you can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you like to listen to podcasts.
And where do we find Anthony DiRenzo?
And Anthony DiRenzo is available. You already said it, so I'm going to let you do it.
DiRenzo6.
DiRenzo6 on Twitter.
Absolutely. And what's the podcast again, Anthony?
It's the Upper Bowl podcast, and then follow 1210 WPHT for some new exciting shows that I'll be involved with.
Here we go.
C'est la vie.